And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 318. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with Mugen Lord once again, and this is going to be his fourth appearance on the show. It's always a blast when we have him on. He's also been on the panel shows a few times. Those are also, really fun as well. It's also crazy because anytime we bring like an older cat on, like we had on that one other guy when the last time you were on, he was like, man, women are like this these days. I was like, yes. Like whatever the older generation thinks of women, whatever idea they had of them, guys, all that shit is basically thrown out the window. That shit is non-existent anymore. Like, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk just got assassinated. And I disagree with him on the whole, like, get married, have kids, and all that shit. He was like, man, find a girl and marry her and all that stuff. I was like, Charlie, you got a girl that was, into like church and all that bullshit. And I was like, Charlie, we are getting girls that have been ran through like the fifth time. There's a little bit of discrepancy here, when we're talking about like what we have access to as the common man, but fucking hell, man. It's been a while since you've been on the show. What's been going on, dude?
Oh, nothing, man. I just been like hammering down on Venus and Ryan comics. Just been working really hard trying to get it out there and in front of everybody to see if they have interest in it. And it's been working out. Been going to a ton of cons, and just been spreading awareness of Venus and Ryan comics. And it's just an awesome experience, just meeting people, seeing people excited, and people just asking me questions of how I started this Venus and Ryan comics universe, and that they're also inspired to want to be able to create their own independent comic book universe themselves and stuff. So it's been one hell of an amazing ride. And as far as the summer is concerned, it just came and went just like really, really fast and stuff like that.
We're man, holiday season. What's crazy because
we
tomorrow's gonna be October and it's holiday season. At that I always consider Halloween to New Year's holiday season.
That's when it starts. That's
you take your daughter trick or treating because she's like 17. Isn't that kind of embarrassing? Have your
well,
dad
I mean, I think it's like I'm like me as a parent. I never really did like the trick or treating. I took her to like when her school had the trunk or treat. I'll take her there, but because me growing up, my parents didn't never take me trick or treat, especially back then when it were crazy cycles just to put razor blades and candies and shit like that, and all the type of craziness and stuff. So my parents we didn't really celebrate Halloween. My school would have parties, so I would dress up in costume and stuff like that, and my parents would buy us candy and stuff, but we never really went out. But now my daughter, she's older, she's 16 now and stuff like that. So she'll probably hang out with her, with her friends and stuff like that. And they'll go around in their neighborhood because it was a nice neighborhood and stuff like that. Normally that's what I did last year. I took her around her friend's house, met her friend's mom and stuff like that. Nice community. And they had their little trick or treat thing, in their community and stuff. And then I come pick her up after she's done and stuff like that. But other than that,
dominate mostly white people. Those neighborhoods are safe. They're white people there.
Well, it's middle class blacks. So it's
really
middle class. It's some white people, but it's middle class black. So
that probably was a shock. That'd be a shock to me. I was like, oh, it's a nice neighborhood. It's like full white Mexicans. No, it's black. That goes against my narratives.
Middle class blacks. So they got some sense. So but yeah, man. As far as that's concerned, just like I'm feeling old, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing my daughter 16, be 17 next year. She already talked about, my 17th birthday. I'm like, yo, chill out. Like, can you just slow down for a second? Like as you get older, I'm getting older. And plus her birthday is 2 days before my birthday. Hers is the 26th of March. Mine's is the 28th or whatever like that. So I'm always constantly
I'll be 18 in 2028. 2027.
Let me see. 2027, and I'll be 40 in 2027. So
Lord, that means you're gonna be a DILF at that point. See, now we're getting to some good areas here. Now you can basically go to the club and be like, yeah, my daughter's already older. I already did all that. See?
That's the thing. That's the thing. My dad brought it to my attention. Said, you realize, son, it's just once you drop your daughter off at college, it's just going to be you. And that's when it hit me and said, damn. That's why I held off on dating and all this other type of stuff because, I wanted to just focus on my daughter, make sure she get the education that she needs and stuff in private school. And just get her all settled and stuff. And then once she goes away to college, I can focus back on me. I mean, I think that's what a lot of parents, these younger generation parents or these modern parents forget, is when they have kids, they still try to make things about them. But once my daughter was born and stuff like that, it took me some time to adjust. But after, just going through the drama and stuff with friends with benefits with chicks and casually dating here and there and the stress that was bringing me, I said, man, I can't. I can't do this while trying to raise a daughter and stuff and trying to, go through, navigate through my love life. I said, nope. So I just put that on pause and just focus on my daughter. And if some action happens to fall on my lap or just happens to happen, then, I have my fun and stuff. But other than that, it's just never been my priority and stuff. But yeah, she's going to college. She's going to college in 2 years. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck I'm going to do now?
Peace and quiet.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I wouldn't say peace and quiet because my daughter, she's like me. She just chill. That's one thing I'm glad she got from me. Like unlike her mom and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I could say. She has a lot of me in her and stuff like that. So my daughter's like my best friend. She's like if I'm not not podcasting or working on other things, my daughter is like glued to my hip. Like she's with me everywhere. My daughter, like I can't even creep out the house. Like if I open the door, Dad, where you going? You ever play Final Fantasy VII where when Aerith had you stayed the night over Aerith's house and you had to creep out to try to leave?
Yeah.
If you step on the wrong floor panel, she come out like, what are you doing? Like, where you going? And you have to go back into that's how my daughter is. It's like I'm playing the Aerith minigame because when I leave or she hear the door nudge, she opens her door. Dad, where you going? I'm like, I'm stepping out to the store real quick and stuff like that. So yeah, so she's a daddy girl and stuff, and I enjoy my daughter's company. So she's like my best friend. So it's gonna feel weird when she does, go to college and stuff. I remember the time when I did, when she went to hang out with her friends and stuff, and I'm already, I'm trying to get used to it because she's older now, so now she hangs out with her friends, or when she chooses to go out with her friends, opposed to wanting to, chill with me for a bit. It kind of hurts a little bit, but she's getting older. You know what I'm saying? Like she got friends. So, I'm starting to I'm just slowly letting her go and stuff. And I'm getting used to it now. So, because when I completely have to let her go when she go to college, that's going to hit me like a ton of bricks,
Yeah. Do you still get worried? Like it's hard? Like if she goes and hangs out with a friend, like I know parents struggle with that too. Like the kid goes hang out, you're like worried something's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, when she was like a younger, like when she was like 11, 10, 9, 10. The thing is, me as a parent, I don't just send my daughter. I don't let her go to anybody's house, and I don't let anybody look after her. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how my parents was with us and everything. And when before she even hang out with anybody or whatever like that, I was like, yo, I gotta meet this person's guardians first, or parents, or whatever, before you start hanging out, going out anywhere with anybody and stuff. I need to know who you're hanging with. I need to know the parents and everything. So if things ever go south, I know exactly who I should be addressing and stuff like that. So that's what I normally do. I meet the parents or the parent or whoever the guardian is, get to know them, talk to them. And then okay, this is a safe environment. And then they ensure to me, don't worry, like your daughter is safe. I would never let anything happen and stuff like that. And that's how, I did not let her go and, and just hang out or spend the night over and stuff like that. And I always taught my daughter, like, wherever you go, you always text me if you decide to change locations, you text me and let me know. You let me know when you changing locations and stuff. And I'm also like that with my brothers too, and stuff like that. If my brothers are going out, text me and let me know that you're leaving, or text me and let me know that you're switching locations. Because if something was to happen to you, I know exactly where to start looking. You know what I'm saying? So I also instill that in my daughter. So now she's older. She's 16 now. So she having a little bit more freedom. I'm letting her go. She having a little bit more freedom. And all I tell her is just respect my wishes. You text me when you get to your location, and you text me if you switching locations. You always text me, let me know. If you can't do that, then I can't let you go anywhere or whatever like that. Long as easy rules, just do that. Dad, I'm safe. I'll call you when I'm about to leave and stuff like that. That's all I'm asking. Go out and have fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it doesn't. as long as you, as a parent, as long as you instill great values and you teach them accountability and stuff like that, as they get older, it's supposed to actually get easier. It's not supposed to get harder as they get older and stuff. It's actually supposed to get easier. The challenge is when they were younger, because they're more dependent on you.
Also, they're really naive too. They don't know anything.
Yeah,
even explaining things to them, they're like, "Huh?" I imagine like explaining and talking to them is way easier when they get older, because people think it's easier when they're younger. It's like, no, they don't understand jack shit. They don't know anything. You're the only person that teaches them. You're supposed to be the adult that shows them all that shit.
Yeah. So when when my daughter was younger, it wasn't difficult, but it was work because they're dependent on you. You got to feed them, you got to clothe them.
You do
if it's something wrong with them, you got to figure it out, because sometimes they don't express it to you and stuff like that. So you got to figure it out and stuff. So you got to navigate through all that when they're younger and stuff. But as they get older, they start to get more and more responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when my daughter was young, I was raising my daughter. Her mom wasn't around, so I had to have her auntie, and I had to have the other women in my life to help out, especially when she got older. Like as the moment she turned, I would say, the moment she turned like 1 or maybe 2, I stopped washing her up. Like her auntie would wash her up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? As they start getting to certain ages, when it comes to changing their clothes, she's a young lady. Like I'm her father, so I have her auntie or her grandmom or any of the women that's in my life, for those things and stuff like that. When I used to go shopping when she was younger, I would take a woman with me and stuff to help me pick out her underclothes, because she's a young lady and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But now that she's older, she can do that shit herself now. You know what I'm saying? Here, take this money. Go get your underclothes, go get the things you need to go get and stuff like that. So she's having more and more responsibilities. So that takes less and less off of me. You know what I'm saying? Now, like when it comes to her homework, she's old enough to start checking on her own homework. She knows what she needs to do. She knows she needs to turn in her assignments and stuff. I don't have to stay on her back when it comes to her homework and stuff. She's 16 years old. I mean, my parents wasn't on my back once I got to high school. It was like the 9th grade. They wasn't checking my homework and stuff. It was my responsibility to go over my homework, make sure I went to my tutor and did those things and stuff like that. So it got a lot easier. So now I don't check over her homework. She checks her homework and stuff. She brings in awesome grades. So things get more and more easier. Hell, now she's actually she didn't start going to walking around her neighborhood until now and stuff like that. She goes, I was not playing that, because especially around here, little girls are getting snatched up. This human trafficking and stuff like that. Girls disappearing and stuff. I would not.
The CIA officials don't even know where they're at. They can't find them.
So it wasn't until now she's 16 where I allow her to actually go out and go to the plaza on her own and stuff like that, because it's dangerous out here, especially as a young girl and stuff like that. So if she was to go out before she was 16, I would go with her and stuff. I would drive her around, take her where she needed to be and stuff like that, and drop her off and pick her up. She's 16 now. She's catching public transportation on her own, hanging with her friends and stuff like that. So I don't worry as much.
The last time we talked, I remember we talked about the mother, because you had said on social media she came back in her life. Is that still a thing? Is her mom still there, or her mom kind of thing that Will's dad at Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did?
I guess it's almost like the Will's dad thing.
Oh no!
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's because, like I said, she's old. She's old enough now. I don't get in her business when it comes to her relationship with her mom, because, like I said, me and her not getting back together and stuff. She's old enough now. I don't have to check over her. Now that's up to her to establish that relationship. So I don't really pry into her business with her mom like that, unless if I feel like something is off. If my daughter has been acting upset about something or whatever like that, then I'll pry into it. But other than that, she's nonchalant about her mom. The last time I did talk to her, she was like, every time I call my mom, she's always in pain or something like that. She's always a victim of something or whatever like that. Sometimes
women. Sounds about right.
Yeah, because she's like every time I call her, because her I think her mom, she told me her mom, the doctors found a cyst on her brain or something like that. They had to remove or something like that, and whatever. But she said every time I call my mom is always something wrong with mom. It's always something, and then I got to sit down and listen to her bleed out to me, like as if I'm her mom. I'm your daughter. Like I'm supposed to be, like talking to you, bleeding out to you and stuff. But every time I turn around, it's always something wrong with you or whatever like that. And I got to sit down and just listen to you and stuff, listen to whatever you going through and stuff. That's why she said she don't really call her as much of like that, because it's always a story coming from her mom or whatever like that. And she said she don't feel like dealing with it and everything. But that's about as far as I know. Like she only called me like what, about a month and a half ago or whatever. And she was on some shit, like she was like, because she saw me signing books and stuff like that, the whole Venus and Ryan comics thing and stuff. And then she just called me up crying and stuff and saying that she made a mistake and everything. And she was like, I want you back and all this other type of stuff. I'm like, I was like, that's not happening. That is not happening. We not, like, she's the past. Like, I gotta move forward and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, despite the shit that I've been through with her, I still love her. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby, that's the child, that's my first child's, mother and stuff like that. And she was like my very first love and stuff. So I'm always gonna have some type of love for her. But I know I'm smart enough to know that you're no good for me. You're toxic as hell and stuff like that. And that's when she was talking about she want to divorce her husband and stuff, and she want to come back here in Philly.
Jeez,
yeah.
I wonder why.
Oh yeah, I was like,
because people got mad at us last time we were talking about women this way, and this is factually true. Women initiate the divorces first. So when women are always talking to dudes like, no, women don't want to be single moms. Yeah, divorce rates prove that they do. Like, it's weird how people's reality of something changes when the actual statistic blows up. It's like, that's not real. Women kind of do want that. If they don't want to be married, then they will be a single mother by default.
Default. And so she was telling me like she wants to come back and stuff, that she still love me and all this other type of stuff. And I was like, Hera, that's not happening. Like that's not happening.
That could also be one of those things of like, like we always get those fleeting moments that happens during like random moments of the day, weeks, months, years. Like you always look at like the grass could be greener on the other side, but it's like, she made this commitment to this dude. Yeah, marriage is supposed to be till death do us part. You're supposed to work things out. Like, I don't know what women want. Like, they want to be married, but they don't want to work through the problems to get through the problem to make it better. Well, it's an easy way out,
because society gave women incentives to divorce. Because guess what? There was just a report that in Kentucky that divorce went down by 25%. Because if people don't know, if the audience don't know, and there's a couple other states that are about to replicate what Kentucky had just done. They started this 2 years ago in Kentucky, where by default, both the father and the mother had 50% custody, 50-50 by default, because by default, most cases, by default, the mother gets the child and stuff like that. So what's going on is, by default, since the father and the mother both had the child, which means the father's not really paying child support at all, because he has the child 50% of the time, when she has the child 50% of the time. So he's handling the finances on his end, and she's handling the finances on her end. So now child support is not really a thing. So, and even when it comes to the whole alimony thing, it's like she's getting a little bit back in return from her ex or whatever. So now it's like, all right, it's almost like we still married but not married. If you got 50 and I got 50, and we're both going back and forth, and he's not giving me nothing or whatever like that, because the court said he doesn't have to, because he has the child 50% of the time, it's like we still together. So now the divorce dropped by 25%. Now women are not initiating it, because now it also exposes that was the reason why women were divorcing dudes, because it was an incentive. Like, I can take half your shit, right? And then I can still go on the side, fuck some other dude while you still finance my living. And
the worst one was lifetime alimony. That's the worst one. That's even worse. Some states, they have the non-fault divorce or whatever. So even if you didn't get married, you get screwed too.
And that's what was going on. So it goes to show that women aren't leaving relationships because her husband's beating the shit out of her. Most of these chicks are leaving because there's an incentive. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be in this relationship. So she is willing to end a marriage, end a family with kids and everything because it doesn't have that spark anymore. What kind of selfish shit is that? Like it's some Disney fairy tale and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like she has no incentive to work things out. So now women in Kentucky is slow down with initiating the divorces because now she sees it as like, damn, it doesn't make any sense if this man is still has 50% custody and he's paying me less in child support because he has the kids 50% of the time, then there's no sense of leaving over like that. So that goes to show you that these women aren't leaving for domestic abuse. They're leaving because it's an incentive. I can take his money, live the life I want to live, and he finance it. Like I said, one of my college bros, you know what I'm saying? He had a high school sweetheart. They went to college together. After they got to college together, got married, had a kid and stuff like that. And then up in one day, she said she didn't want to do it no more. And he was so like it came out of nowhere to him or whatever. And he had to give up the house to her. He had to give the car to her. And he had to live, and he had a good job. He was making like over 100 grand a year and stuff like that. So now he has to split his pension and stuff like that. And then he had to, like I said, he had to give the car to her. He had to give the vehicle to her. He has no vehicle, so he has to catch public transportation, and he's living in a small room, while his childhood sweetheart is banging his best friend. She moves him in the house, and he has to finance that, and he can barely see his kid, while his best friend is banging his childhood sweetheart. Mm-hmm. He has to still pay for that. And what the women would do is, as long as she don't get married, she can still collect alimony. So now all she had to do is get a fuck boy, have him fuck her brains out, while her ex, who's always been paying the bills, now she's not well. He still has to pay the bills, maintain her life, while this new guy moves in the house, fucking her brains out, and he's walking around your children. And this is why dudes commit suicide. This is why
guys don't want to get married. This is why dudes ain't approaching. It's even more on a microscopic level too. Dudes aren't even approaching women like that anymore. Like, have you seen those videos recently of all these like white ladies and Mexican ladies walking out on the town having their girls' night, which usually means I'm gonna get my back blown up by 3 different dudes in one night. But then they'll have these videos before that. They'll be like, "Why don't no guys approach me anymore? Gee, I wonder why. Gee, I absolutely wonder why." Like, dudes aren't even approaching women like that. And even if they do, they're not trying to marry these women. Because keep in mind, this girl will tell you she had a train ran on her. And I'm supposed to be like, yeah, that's wife material. Let's sign that paper. Like, no, like, what the fuck? Like, hey, people say, but people always ask me, it's like, hey, should people's past be judged? Well, yeah, everyone's always judged by their past. Just because I forgive someone for their past doesn't mean they're not going to be judged by it. Like, everyone's past, you judge them for it. Is it right or wrong? I don't know. That's up to you to decide.
Well, I mean, judging is a human thing. It's a human instinct. You know, it's a survival instinct. You know what I'm saying? For you to survive, you have to judge everybody, because that's how you know who to stay away from.
Hey, I'll be honest here. That Ukrainian girl, if she had racially profiled that black dude, she'd still be alive right now. Being honest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if I see like 5 black guys over this corner, I'm like, not walking in that area.
Let me tell you something, man. Like, growing up in the hood, like, you always had to be alert. You had to be alert of your surroundings, especially as a black male, because there's other black males, you know, out to get you and stuff like that. So growing up in the hood, you know, being around my father and stuff, my father always told me, watch how a nigga move, how he sway and stuff like that, because you never want somebody to just pull up on you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't see anything racist about it and stuff like that. When you are cautious, you pattern recognition, or if somebody doesn't look right, you know, be cautious, you know, watch yourself. So even as growing up, you know, even being a black male, I still look out at other black males and watch, you know what I'm saying? Because where I live was very dangerous growing up and stuff like that. So you had to watch those things, you know. Like I said, you don't know how many times I've been, 4 times in my life I have been stuck up at gunpoint when growing up in my life and stuff like that. So I know, like you gotta pay attention to your surroundings. You gotta watch your back and stuff like that. So when I see a nigga ain't moving right, or he looking kind of shifty, my eyes is locked on him. My eyes ain't gonna be paying attention to nobody else. My eyes is on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Do you see
saying?
that video that came out last year? Was that white dude? He had his gun. It wasn't like holster or anything. It was gun. It was in his back pocket. Two
They
black dudes walking there.
grabbed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
grabbed it. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He tried to get it back. And they shot him. And
Shot
like,
him.
bruh. Like,
Yeah.
and people want to see black people are the oppressed ones, and they're the ones that are getting screwed. It's like, no, like, yes, there was a certain thing that maybe hurt black people, but at a certain point, they're the ones that they basically, in my opinion, just became the thing that they didn't like. They became everything that the media said they were. Like, literally, guys, it was a video. This white guy did nothing to these people. The black dudes just walked in the gas station, grabbed his gun. The guy wanted it back, and they shot him. He did nothing happened. This guy did nothing wrong to him.
Yeah, my boy V in the chat. My boy V, we went to the same high school together.
He's got an Inuyasha profile picture. That's my
yeah. That's my boy. I called him Krillin because he was at the time in high school. He was short, just like Krillin, little.
Oh my god,
and stuff like that. But yeah, like V, no, we come from we around the same. We in the same hood. From South Philly. We in the same hood. You know, it was that dangerous. You always had to keep your eyes open and shit like that because you would never know. And what made it even more dangerous is when you got your woman with you. You know what I'm saying? When you got your woman, I had my baby mom when me and her was dating and stuff like that. I always had my back while she's walking around smiling and talking, and she don't understand how I'm feeling. My eyes is always shifting around. I don't know what niggas could pull up because you also gotta understand too, man. Some dudes would just try to test you. Don't have a baddie with you on your hip. The niggas will really try to test you and shit like that. I remember before I had my car. It was me and my daughter. She was only like 8 months or whatever like that. And we was coming from the gallery and we got on the 17 on our way back home. And she gets on the bus first. I had the transfer, the fare and stuff to pay for the bus and stuff. So I get on. So I told my girl and I told, to take our daughter in the back. So she's holding her and go all the way in the back. So while I'm putting the change in, it was like 6 black dudes back there. And the light-skinned dude get up and he was like, yo, what's up? And while she's holding my daughter and shit like that, I didn't give a fuck. I walked up and said, yo, we got a problem? He said, oh, she with you? Oh, my fault, old head. And and I was ready. I thought these dudes were gonna get up and jump, but once he got shook or whatever like that, because I didn't give a fuck. And then the other dudes, they didn't say nothing. They just went in the back or whatever like that and sat there or whatever. And then they got off the next stop. I ain't gonna lie, that turned her on. I just
went through something a little similar like that. I was gonna go to the store and I was just waiting for the bus. Got on it. I was about to pay and everything. Group of black people just all in the back, all seats filled up. I'm like,
no, this is the thing that pissed me off. No. This would piss me off growing up. Yeah. So this would piss me off.
Also, LG, he says, "Hey, it's a black guy." I'm talking about Mugen. Oh fuck, yeah, V. We old heads now. Look, shit. I upgraded the status. Niggas call me pops now. Niggas ain't even call me onk. Niggas call me pops. Niggas are calling me pops. I'm like, damn. So yeah, man. So what pissed me off, what irritates me when seeing like especially young black teenagers or black kids and stuff when I used to get on the bus before I had my car and stuff like that. Here it is, we have Rosa Parks who fought, fought so hard so we wouldn't have to be in the back of the bus and all this other type of stuff. And now me growing up, going through school all the way to high school, black kids, the first thing when they get on the bus, they go straight for the back. They go straight for the back. That's where they sit at. They don't sit in the front. They go straight for the back. And what's so crazy about it is when they pile up back there, the old people get scared because there's always some mess. It's either some fighting, people yelling, carrying on, throwing shit, all kinds of stuff. And then you always got like 1 or 2 niggas who want to impress the chicks, the ghetto chicks by trying to pick a fight with somebody on a bus and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was always some mess. Because I remember when I was it was back in 2008. I remember I got on the bus. I was with mom. I was with my mom because my mom wanted to go shopping down Center City. So I went with her. And when I got on the bus, and it was this other black young man with his grandmother. And so a group of these black kids get on, and the young boy saw him with his grandmom and just purposely went by him and then took his shoulder and rammed it against him, just hit him, and then walked and it almost knocked his grandmother over. And he said, you almost knocked my grandmother over.
So they get into an argument, and then you see the black chicks, egging it on. You know what I'm saying? And
they're like, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing, stuff like that. And next thing you know, the five black dudes jumped him in front of his grandmother. So I got up and to break it up. They called the police and stuff, but it was just ridiculous. They just got on the bus just to start a fight. And like I said, I experienced this. Everybody can have a public transportation story dealing with young niggas. Like we all been through it and stuff. Also too, growing up, especially in high school, when we used to have rival schools. Like my school, we used to go to war with Southern. I was from Bach Tech, so we used to go to war with Southern High School, and we used to go to a war with Orton Reed High School. So it was so crazy. Like I wasn't into that, that school shit, that school rivalry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if a nigga saw you and he saw like your Bach Tech uniform or whatever, it was just on sight. Niggas would just jump you and shit like that. Yeah. But luckily, the reason why me and my brothers didn't get jumped, because I remember it was a crazy fight that broke up in high school. Yeah. Vito, what happened was my cousin William, he was from South Philly High, right? So when I remember I was in Spanish class and I hear all this rumbling outside, I look. South Philly High had our entire high school surrounded. It was dark as shit out there. It was nothing but niggas out there, right? So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I said, why all these niggas out there? So they was looking for like these other dudes in our school who act like they hood and shit like that. They was looking for them and shit like that. So I remember me and my brother Keo, we leave out. So when we leave out, I saw my cousin William and Malcolm. They was from South Philly High. So when we came out, the South Philly High niggas came over to us, and my cousin said, yo, don't touch them. That's my cousins. That's family right there. They don't got nothing to do with this shit. So he said, oh, my fault. So the niggas from South Philly High, they let us go by. So they opened up and moved out of the way. We walked through the crowd and shit like that, and that shit closed back up. So when them niggas came out from Bach, dude, they just started jumping them niggas. And they was beating up ninth graders. They was beating up. If you was a black man, if you was a male, I wouldn't say black male because we had Cambodians, we had white boys, we had, stuff like that at our school. But if you was a male, you was getting your ass jumped. They was getting any nigga. If you was a male, you was getting your ass whooped. So, man, I remember we was walking back on our way, going to the bus stop to the 29. We see police helicopters and wagons going in the direction to our school and shit like that. Dude, it was fucking crazy. Them school wars. Yup. Helicopters and everything that day. Yup.
Yeah, and people wonder why they don't want their kids going to school with black people like that. Like, I wouldn't want my kid going through that. Fuck
but this is the thing. Like in our high school, we also had like different groups. So we had the Cambodians had their little clique, their little squad. We had the Italians had their squads. It was crazy down my end. And the niggas had their little clique, and then you had that one clique where it's just diverse as shit.
Yeah. You always have to ban people, just ban.
Yeah. You had that diverse, but yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It was fucking crazy. Then I remember that we had to get out of school 1:00 at like from April all the way to the end of the semester because somebody came and shot up the school because I think one of the Italian dudes slept up this Asian chick or something like that. He was dating her or something like that. So the Asian dudes came up because I remember this white boy named John, Italian dude. And what happened was we was going down to the 29 bus stop and the thing was, we was walking. Me and my brother was walking with John. We was just talking and stuff like that. So I didn't. I knew I heard him, and he said, "Yo, Brian, hold up for a second. I got to tie my boots." But I'm still talking with my brother Keo. When I would turn around, it was like these Cambodian dudes and these black dudes just like beat this shit out of him. I'm like, holy fuck! Like. So when I turned around, I went over there just to run over to see if he was okay. So when we ran up, they all ran and got in the car and shit. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So everybody came over. So all the neighbors came out and stuff. And I picked John up. I mean, his face is all bloody and stuff. But come to find out that he was one of his homies would smack some Asian chick up or something like that. And then it was retaliation or it was some crap. So after that, we had to get out of school at 1 p.m. every day because it got bad because it bleeded out outside the school where some shooting got involved and stuff. It was nuts. But the Italian clique at the school, they was like, yo, like we want to talk to you for a second, Brian. I'm like, what? It's like, yo, we appreciate what you and your brother did, man. Like we heard what happened. I'm like, what happened? He said you ran up and he ran. They ran away soon. Y'all ran up to go. I'm like, no. I was like, no. Like I just wanted to see if he's okay. I ain't say shit. Though. But yeah, they said he ran soon. Y'all ran out. I was like, I wasn't doing that.
Man, this is like I know people don't like Nick Fuentes, but he put out he said something about black experience and shit. And he was like, the reason why a lot of people think negative about black people is because they have negative interactions with black people most of the time. Like a lot of time, man, it's not even just about if it's fighting or it's about having a problem with someone. They're like constantly making fun of you for anything, like just constantly egging you on. Like if you like anime in school,
I'll give you a perfect example.
You like anime in school, you're getting fucked.
Like a perfect example. I'll tell you, like interactions, like because it's sometimes it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, like reaction, even with the simplest things. Like for instance, I remember one time, like a month or two ago, I went to go to the Poppy store to order a cheesesteak. So the dude, the one of the bulls was at these casino, like one of those digital slot machine things and stuff. My hair just brushed against them when I went to go slide by him. And he was like, yo, bro, like, why the fuck is your hair touching me and shit? I'm like, yo, who the fuck is you talking to? I was like, yo, it was an accident. I was like, yo, brother, like, calm down, like, because this shit can get out of like with black people. If you get into a confrontation, it can go from 0 to 100. It can go from a simple argument, and then now somebody's life is being taken. I said, yo, man, like, we two black men, we shouldn't even be arguing over something as simple as that. If my hair accidentally brushed against you, dog, it's an accident. Like, dude, you don't have to act that way. It's unnecessary. He said, no, you right. Like, what the fuck is you acting like that, bro? Like, what the fuck is you acting like you want to fight me because my hair touched you? You know what I'm saying? Like niggas, like it's just out of control.
Yeah, that's why most people got problems with black people. It's not even because they don't even like them. It's just like the unnecessary overreactions and just the aggressiveness for no reason. Like you want to fight someone because your hair brushed. Like what the fuck? Where's the logic? Like that? He's really no. Look at what?
Yeah, like it's just simple shit like that. Niggas are ready to fight you and stuff. But you gotta understand, like this come from the environment this is from the environment that we come from. Where you can't like we when taught not to even trust each other. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, I learned from my dad. You always watch how a nigga move. So even me, you know what I'm saying? I watch. Like in my hood growing up, I have to watch because you don't know what it's all about don't let a nigga get the drop on you. Don't let somebody catch you sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Catch you lacking. That's the saying and stuff like that. So even me in my era growing up, and even in my dad's era growing up, you gotta watch niggas. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is in our neighborhoods and stuff. We've been taught not to trust each other. You know what I'm saying? So now, and then we also got this like I said, when it comes to the hood culture, the gangster culture and stuff like that, and trying to prove that you're a man, that you're not a bitch and stuff like that. So you're walking around every day trying to prove that you're not a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And even some of these niggas even know that, it's not really that drastic or, or whatever like that. But he has to prove in front of the other niggas, you know what I'm saying, that he ain't no bitch. And that's where all this shit, extends from and stuff. And that has to be fixed. Because, like, as a black man and stuff, we should be able to sit down and actually have a conversation. And that also goes into the fact is that, in our communities, there's a epidemic of single mothers. So we have a lot of black young men who are very
community with the most single mothers.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So we have a bunch of emotional black males. They're very fucking emotional and stuff like that. It's because they taught by their mothers. They grew up around estrogen their whole entire life. They've been raised by their auntie, their grandmom, their mom, their sisters and stuff like that. So there's no masculine image. There's no example of what a real masculine man is. Black people or black men in general, we're hyper masculine. We're the most hyper masculine race on this planet. Everything we do, we do it to the next level, and shit like that. But and it's sad, like we should, like, imagine if we took that and channel it in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, we proved it through history, through sports, music, and all kinds of other things. But it's also have a destructive side as well when it's not channeled, or when that young man doesn't have that male figure in his life to help him channel that and stuff.
There's also the ones that think that, you know, every race is out to get them. Like, I know you've seen those college campus debates where, like, the Fearless Tour guys just went out to the University of Tennessee just to have a conversation. Yeah, these group of people trying to fuck with them, trying to throw things at their car. It's like, what? This is all of our conversation. Like, even just trying to have conversation with some of them, they bring up all this shit, and you're like, wait a minute, none of that ever happened to you. You had nothing to do with slavery. What the fuck are you talking about?
And what's so sad about it is just like Eric Wappel said, it's the hood guys giving most black people a bad name. Yeah, because there's a lot of hardworking every day that get up, like 9 to 5 black folks that get up and just want to go to work and, you know, be want to contribute to society and stuff. But is the bad apples, and it's a lot of them. And what makes it bad is because we also have this culture of don't snitch culture too. You know what I'm saying? Don't snitch. And even if you're a regular law-abiding citizen, even they're afraid to call things out or call the police and stuff like that, because they know there's going to be some retaliation, you know, from these people and stuff like that. So what we do is, as far as black folks are concerned, we have this thing where we mind our fucking business. If the cops come by, oh, we didn't see shit. And then we allow these people to terrorize our neighborhoods because we don't want to be seen as a rat. We don't want to be seen as a snitch and shit like that. So
and those people usually, when they get enough money from working, they move out of the hood.
Oh yeah. Well, that's everybody's dream, is to get out of the hood, because that's another reason why our black communities can never strive, is because most are educated, most are wealthy blacks and everything. The first thing they do once they get educated, they leave, and I don't blame them. Yeah, because all the shit that they've been through, especially the educated ones, or the ones that have been bullied their whole life, you know, being called nerd, or you're not black enough, or this, that, and the third. They get their education, become successful, and never come back to the hood. And then you also got to understand too, with the culture as well, you know, a lot of black folks, they destroy shit. They don't know how to take care of shit that's given to them. Every time we build new community centers, it's graffiti, it's trash everywhere, shit is broken, they break shit, they bust windows out. You know what I'm saying? That's why when it comes to the hood, like Will Smith wanted to come back and build certain things here, and he decided not to, and stuff like that. And we have other situations where, you know, we're going to have certain community centers for our communities and stuff. But the moment every time they build these shit, we destroy it. Like a lot of black folks don't know how to appreciate shit when things are given to them. They just destroy shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's a taught thing. That's a learned thing from back at home and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it.
It's also glorifying the music too.
Yeah,
like you got girls listening to Cardi B. Cardi B's biggest song was WAP.
But like for instance, I'll give you another perfect example that used to get on my nerves. And I used to hate when we used to get new neighbors. Like every time we got a new neighbor, we didn't know what kind of fucking neighbor we getting. If we're going to get an older, much more mature person, then we know that, okay, it's going to be good. But every time we got a younger, like new neighbor, they all, whatever hood shit that they were from, they bring it to our neighborhood, to our block. Because I remember we had a few chicks, whores, like ghetto whores. They would move into the block and shit like that. And next thing you know, Zafiq, all these other niggas would start showing up. Then now they start driving their cars or riding their bikes, and they will all pile up on her step, smoking weed and shit like that. Or loud, while everybody sleep at night, trying to get ready to go to work or go to school and stuff. They're out late at night blasting music, or they're always fighting. Somebody's always fighting outside and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't even introduce themselves to the rest of everybody in the neighborhood to get to know everybody and stuff. So they treat themselves as an outsider and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I remember one time she had gotten into a fight with somebody else's with some other chick, because her man was sleeping with her or some other shit like that. A fight broke out on our block and stuff like that. And I remember in the middle of the night, it was a drive-by, shot up our windows and everything. And we never had shootings on our block itself. Never had any shootings until she moved on the block. And then another thing I used to hate too is when she do have that crowd coming over smoking weed and stuff like that. They would literally sit on people's cars. I remember I had my car parked, and I go to the store and come back. It's a bunch of niggas sitting on the hood of my car, sitting on the hood of my fucking car. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? So She knows that's my car. She knows, she sees me park my car, go in the house and stuff like that. And you ain't have the decency, because these niggas don't even live on our block. You live on our block, and you don't have the decency to say, "Yo, get off my neighbor's car." You allow these niggas to sit on my car. So when I came on the block, I saw him sit in my car. I pressed the alarm button so that the alarm would go off, and they were all off of it and shit like that. And then when I come through, they look at me, and then she'll smirk with that and get on my fucking nerves. She would smirk and don't say nothing and like that, and then they don't sit back on it again and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just ignorant shit like that. What are you doing sitting on people's fucking cars? They have no respect for people's properties. Another perfect example, even though our neighborhood is gentrified now, we got more white people that's in our neighborhood. The only thing I don't like is that we have these community basketball games that at the basketball court. So what happens is you got families of these basketball players, street basketball players, who will come see the game and shit like that. What I don't like about it is you have niggas who come from all different parts of the hood, North Philly, West Philly, you know what I'm saying, like that. And since they don't belong here, they drive to go see the game. So they come in, they will order food. And what I don't like is once they order food, they'll order, like, they go to the Chinese store or the Poppy store, they will order a platter. They will eat the platter, right? And then leave the container on somebody's step. They will leave it on the step and just keep it moving and shit like that. And then the white people are scared because what happens is like I said, our neighborhood's been gentrified. They live in those 3-story houses and stuff, those nice complexes and stuff like that. And outside the house, we actually have like USB. They have USB slots and sockets where you can sit on your step and you can charge your phone.
Yeah,
you got black folks that don't even live in our neighborhood, would sit on their step and then plug their phones in their sockets, using up their electric. And you see the white folks, they all scared. They looking out the window and shit and don't say nothing. It's shit like that. No appreciation, no respect for other people's property at all. And the moment someone like me call that shit out, I'm a fucking coon. You know what I'm saying? I'm anti-black. Make that make sense.
Yeah, like you'll even talk to some of these dudes, like, or no, not even just black people. It'll be like talking to white people, like white liberal dudes or women, and then they'll be like, no, but they have to do that because it's like
white liberals are the worst.
You know what's crazy? At least with black people, I come to expect that, but it's weird when, like, you talk to a white liberal person and they just kind of excuse it based off of other factors. Like, no, it's not okay to just do bad things just because. That's just not right. I don't know. Like, they just justify. It's because their living conditions. They had to go,
and that's ignorant. Like how do you like and that's condescending to me when they say shit like that.
Yeah.
But white liberals, man, it really works my nerves because we have this one chick. She's this hot blonde that moved in our neighborhood.
Yeah, those ones are liberal. Yeah.
Yeah, but let me check this out though. I remember when she first, and this is the thing. We have three other white people that live on our block. Really, really nice. They always talk. They say hi. They even sit on a step and chill with everybody and everything like that. Really, really cool. Nothing fake about them. But you have these 2 other white people that moved in the block. And the thing that really made me laugh when they first moved in the block, guess what the first thing they did when they walked into their house? They put a Black Lives Matter sign right on their window and shit like that. I'm like, it's the first thing they did when they moved on the block. They put a Black Lives Matter sign. But anyways, this hot blonde that moved on our block and shit, right? And check this out. When I say liberal, I mean Super Saiyan liberal. I remember after I picked my daughter up from school, I happened to park behind her car. And you know how your car, you know them car stickers, you have the stickers and stuff like that. She literally had a Trans Lives Matter sticker. She had a Black Lives Matter sticker. She had a woman's rights sticker, and then she had a sticker with the mask and says, I trust in the science. That was a cocktail, dog. I said, oh, this chick is a loony.
She probably has Antifa stickers on her car now.
Dog, she's hot, but I was like, no, she's a flaming liberal. She you can't get no more liberal than that, dog. I was like, that's crazy. Have all that shit on the back of your damn car.
Crazy is that when you were telling the story about all those black people that were working hard in that neighborhood that your daughter went to, I find it so crazy that that the system was so racist. How are there neighborhoods with full black people with families and they work and they have a good life? I find isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because
systematic racism, it's crazy how it only applies to people that are lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a class thing. It's a class thing. Because like I said, I've seen classy black folks that man, I love to be around black folks with class because they're black people. They're not niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I love being around black folks that has class and stuff like that. Because let me tell you something. This is me growing up, right? We never did anything locally. Like if you wanted to go to the movies, if you wanted to go out to dinner, my parents never took us locally because my dad told me, you never go anywhere where niggas can get on the bus and take public transportation to travel to or whatever like that. You got to go out to where niggas got that you have to drive out to or whatever like that. So that's why when we used to go out to dinner or we used to go out to the movie theaters, we never did anything in our neighborhood. We always went out. And when you go out, you see less niggas, but when you do see black people, they're legitimately black people that actually have sense like us. So that's the only time you're able to find black people with sense is when you go far out away from your damn community and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, this is true too. White people have been conditioned that saying anything not supportive to minorities is racist and oppressive. Yeah,
no, I agree with that, and it's to the point where it's cringy. It's cringy as shit. I can't stand white guilt. White guilt is annoying as fuck.
Oh, remember that video where all the people were on their knees praying and the black people were in like a circle?
I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit because it makes me feel awkward and stuff. Where like it feels weird seeing a white person get offended for you and shit like that. I mean, wait a minute, calm down. What are you getting offended for me for? For me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it gets really, really cringy because I can't tell if you're genuine. Do you fuck with me because you fuck with me?
I think they're all just virtue signaling. All that
is all signaling.
It's all basically anything that they do and they say is morally justice and righteous. But if you criticize any of that, you're a bigot, racist, homophobe. Like, what the fuck? These people are just only out for their own self-image. I don't think they truly even care about black issues like that.
No, they don't. They don't. Yeah. Just like these companies don't. They don't care about black. It's all virtue signal for social credit. You know, for social pat on the shoulder and the back and shit like that. But yeah, I stay away from like white folks that has white guilt and shit like that. I stay away from because it's never really genuine. Like you agree with everything I say. Like are you actually listening to what I'm saying, or are you just agreeing with me because I'm black?
I think they're just saying yes because it's like that. You have conversation with people and they're trying to get to their next point, but they're not actually listening. You know what I mean? Like you'll say, like, hey, black dudes are committing a lot of murder, but then people are like, but black people aren't always doing that. Doesn't even like people are retarded. This is why Charlie Kirk was doing the best he can. You can't talk to people. You'll say, I like waffles. Then a retard will be like, well, are you against pancakes? Pancakes are a minority. What you got against pancakes? Pancakes lives matter. Like, bro, I just thought I like waffles.
Yeah, because I remember, like I said, like I was talking to this one white dude, and I wanted to test to see was he actually like, are we actually having a legitimate conversation, or is he just agreeing with me? So I was just making shit up, and he was just agreeing with me. I said, okay, I need to stay away from this dude. He's not really being real with me. He's only agreeing with me because I'm a black guy. He's afraid if he disagree with me that there may be some altercation between me and him, and those type of white people I stay away from. You know, those are scary white people. I don't like being around scary white people because it makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel scared.
But it's just nowadays anything with disagreement is considered right. You're right. It's like, so we can't just
that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing that I hate. Like if there is an altercation between a black person and a white person, it always has to boil down to racism. Why can't a white guy and a black guy or a
just
white
not get along?
Not get along? Why it has to be something? Why it has to be this is happening because of racism, that he's being racist? Like, no. Like they both having just a disagreement. They're having an argument. They're having an altercation.
Like when it comes to that Ukrainian girl situation where that dude literally said, I got that white girl. I couldn't imagine anyone arguing against that is racial. But then
that was racial because it was because there was black people.
Black dudes and a black lady.
That's sitting right there. He didn't target them. He specifically target her. There's no way in the world you can try to spin that shit.
But you know what's crazy? With George Floyd, when he died, people were like, oh, cops are racist against blacks. People are just really racist against black people. But I find it weird that when a black person attacked a white person, you're in the wrong for assuming it was just about race. So why is it that if a black person is attacked by someone, we have to assume it's just racist? But if it's the other way around, when they're the ones committing the crime, it can't be about race. It's like, what are we doing here? So you can assume, but when I assume it's wrong. Like, what the fuck?
And that's where the fatigue is coming in because it's the double standard. It's the double standard that, hey, why can't black people do this? But when I say something, then it's wrong. And I kept telling people that during this whole, I was telling, like, that's a lot of black people talk about how, you know, we don't have opportunities, or we don't have this, we don't have that, right? And we reparations and stuff. I said, to be honest with you, DEI and all that shit, that was reparations right there. That was our y'all should have took advantage of that shit, but instead y'all weaponized, you know, DEI. Y'all weaponized those things to attack people. You know what I'm saying? Like, because black people getting all these opportunities. Like, I mean, like gaming started getting flooded. Movies, like this gender swapping, all this other nonsense that was going on. It was the perfect time for black people to even use that to their advantage to actually elevate themselves. But a lot of black people got into these positions and stuff and used it to weaponize people to make them feel guilty for being white, or just to make people feel guilty for just being who they are and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with women. Same thing with the LGBTQ and stuff like that. They weaponize that instead of using that to get them farther and stuff. And now people are getting tired. The pendulum is swinging the other way. And like I said, like, black people is going to feel the wrath of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And people like us is going to catch strays because of this. You know what I'm saying? They should have used that to actually get ahead.
Well, they're just doing it to further divide, because now any disagreement is just, I hate you. That's how it is. The disagreement equals hate, and anyone spouting anything of like trying to make people's lives better or saying what would make your life better, they're considered like a Nazi or a fascist. That's everyone's favorite words now. Now you're just a Nazi if you don't agree with me. What?
Yeah. And it devalues
that is to literal Jewish people.
I'm about to say it devalues everything. You know, the Nazi, it devalued the seriousness of Hitler and all this other type of stuff when you call somebody a Nazi and shit like that, because you just simply disagree. And now, like I said, since the pendulum is swinging the other way, when people throw out these buzzwords, people just don't even give a fuck. People don't give a fuck anymore. Like, all right, I guess I am a Nazi then, or I guess I am a fascist, or whatever you want to call it. I guess I am racist. I guess I am racist then. Like, I'll wear that badge.
I know you see this. You saw the situation where it was revealed that the Biden administration like paid off YouTube to censor information they didn't like. When actual fascism is going on, they turn a blind eye to it.
Exactly.
They'll turn a blind eye to it, but it's because it's against people that they don't like. That means it's okay. I don't like. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, dude, that's why I keep saying, like, dog, like, if that's why I keep telling, like, during all this, I said there's gonna be a reckoning if my people don't get it together, man. If they don't get it together, there's gonna be a reckoning, because, dog, a lot of people took too much shit for almost like 10 years now of all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Women don't understand how good they had it especially when the Me Too came. They took advantage of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And corporations was getting scared and stuff like that. And they started putting women in power in these positions and stuff, and they fucked that up. You know what I'm saying? The LGBTQ, they started making splashes and making waves, and then that's when the trans started coming in. Oh, we want to participate in female sports and all this other type of stuff. They didn't know when they had it. When they had it good, and when they actually had something, they just took it to the next level. And the same thing with black folks. With this DEI and all this other type of nonsense, y'all don't know when to quit, and y'all weaponize your victim status. You know what I'm saying, to bully. And now a reckoning, if they keep it up, a reckoning is about to approach if they don't get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like like
you have situations like this, like today. This was even almost just about as bad as that Irina girl, like another black dude, out of jail 39 times and murdered an innocent white girl. Out of jail 39 times. That is insane.
Yeah.
And the people that put that guy out, the judges and the law officials that put that guy out to be around people, they don't nothing happens to them. They're just you get off scot-free. And then if you say what he should have been in jail because he was doing crime, that's why you be in jail. I get there's times where, you know, people are in jail for stupid reasons that are way overpowering, but like, god damn, it's like are you considered a racist if you say that guy should have been in jail for his life?
Yeah,
like these disgusting people are allowed to just be in the public square. Like, dude, you hear the story about that black guy who was out of jail like 10 times, raped a 4-year-old, gave her an STD or whatever? Why the fuck? Why is he out 10 times? God damn, there should be a limit. How about 3 strikes, you're out? How about we do it like baseball? How about 3 strikes, you're out? I think that's enough time. You know, like if you've been out of jail that many times, like god damn. Like,
no. Let me tell you something. Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Like for black folks saying that the system is rigged against them, or
Black people have now.
with incarceration and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. My uncle on my mom's side, this nigga, he had been arrested at least was it like 16 to 17 times, but he been in and out of the system, and this dude was just a terror. And so he finally got put behind bars for good. You know what I'm saying? But it had to take that. It had to take him to actually do something even more crazier. But I also want to, I agree with Eric the Guapo says. If you click, he says older black people from the church. Click on that one.
Yeah.
I want see it says older black people from the church. I grew up and said that the black community sold their wealth after the Civil Rights Act was passed. They sold their business to work for white people. I want to talk about this because also this is why Martin Luther King was killed too, because Martin Luther King realized that he made a mistake with this whole movement. Now he's not saying that we should have stayed segregated, but he was saying that he walked these people
segregation.
Yeah. Bring it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what happened was with a lot of black folks, especially back in during those times and stuff like this. Like I said, back then we had no identity. Like I said, after slavery, we was pulled away from our motherland. We lived here and stuff like that, and we have no identity. It wasn't. That's why in like the 40s, the 50s, we try to imitate white people. We get our hair, like slicked back and stuff like Elvis and all this other type of stuff. It wasn't until we got to like the 60s and the 70s, especially the 70s, where we started wearing our hair naturals with the afros and everything like that. But back to Martin Luther King. He realized he made a mistake is because once we got integrated or whatever like that, a lot of black folks, which I agree with what Guapo said, a lot of black folks sold their businesses because us as black folks, especially back then, we still seen white people as the pinnacle of society or as superior and stuff like that. So you ever heard the saying that white people water must taste better? It tastes better, whatever like that. So it's the same thing when it came to our businesses. We no longer say, hey, why do we need our businesses? Let's just go work for white people and stuff. Now we can actually sit in their restaurants. Now we can actually go in their movie theaters. Man, now we can drink from their water fountains and stuff like that. That's where we got the saying from. White is right. You know what I'm saying? So back then we had our own basketball league called the Negro Leagues. Can you imagine if we still kept our Negro Leagues? Of course, call it something else. Can you imagine we would have owned LeBron James? The NBA wouldn't be where it's at. Because we would have had LeBron James. We would have had Michael Jordan. They would have to negotiate with us, but we gave up the Negro Leagues. We gave up our own sport, own sports leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah, because there were black people that went out and actually made their own shit, and that was forced to be integrated under the Civil Rights Act.
And that's when Martin Luther King realized, and that's when they killed him. Once he realized, like, shit, I made a fucking mistake. I walked my people into a burning fucking building, and that was one. That's why the government would never play his last speech. They always have that I have a dream. But no, he had an actual wake-up call speech that he said to his people. They would never play that. They would never ever run that. They will always play I had a dream speech and stuff like that. But Martin Luther King was killed for him realizing that shit. I was used, because a lot of people believe that Martin Luther King was used by the CIA to do this whole integration thing, and because they knew that what it was going to do to the black community. Because yes, we gave up a lot of our businesses, we gave up everything because we wanted to be with white people so bad. That's why you see the effects today, where every time you point out something that black people done, they always point at white people. Well, white people this, or we had this asphyxiation on white people. We still got it till this day and shit like that. But it started back then. A lot of black folks gave up everything because they wanted to be in white people establishments and stuff. And I think that's why we lost a lot of leverage. Because you look at the Asian community got leverage. Hispanic community got leverage. They own a lot of things. They own their stuff. That's why with the Hispanic community, they got Telemundo. They got their own television and stuff. Like dude, I worked especially when I was working with my dad's film company, Urban Shots. When we used to do we worked a lot with Telemundo and in the Hispanic community. They are well knitted together. They actually thrive together. They support each other and stuff like that. And that's why even if the white man cut support over like that, the Hispanic community still can survive because they built their own shit. They don't need us. They don't need anything. They got their own shit. Same thing with the Asian community. The Asian community got their own shit. They built their own shit or whatever like that. It's still us that's trying to get white people to do things for us and shit like that, and give us a fair shake and stuff like that when we can be building our own. But the sad part about it is we have that crab in the barrel mentality. And a lot of people don't want to admit it, especially when you try to explain it to white people, that crab in the barrel mentality comes from slavery. You know, we were taught to fight each other in order for us to not unite with each other. And it's a curse. I'm telling you, us black folks, our people are cursed. It is a curse. And I don't think this curse is going to take some time until we get it right. And then more and more we keep fucking it up, it's going to be a generational curse of just fuck ups. And
or people talk about that crack epidemic and that shit. And it's like, well, keep in mind, even if the government did do whatever it said it did, or people in the government said, that didn't mean that hey, if I was given drugs, I willingly give it to someone else. That is up to them to do the drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's also no accountability when it comes to black people anymore. Yeah, this happened, but how about we move past that and make things better? You know?
Yeah,
but this happened, so that must mean that I'm oppressed forever and I can't do anything. It's like, God damn, well, you just want to live like that? Like, fuck.
Yeah, yes, back then there was some systemic things that happened to us. Like you had redlining. Redlining was especially when you had the soldiers from Vietnam and I think it was from Vietnam, where they gave only white soldiers like the GI Bill, the money and stuff, and they was able to take that money to buy property and stuff, and then pass that property down to generation to generation. That's why you got a lot of these like these white families who have homes that survived they've been passed down to generation because of that GI Bill and stuff that only white soldiers got, but black soldiers didn't get that. So those white families from those soldiers had got an advantage. They were able to recoup any of that, while those black soldiers who went out and died for this damn country didn't get none of that. So yes, there was some systemic things or whatever like that, but it's still us as a people that has to, like anything in life, we have to work around that. We have to fight. We have to fight strong and build that unity and stuff. Because like I said, the black family was so strong, and in fact, it was proven that black families back then, even during Jim Crow, was in most cases making more than white families as far as income was concerned and stuff like that. You know, and now that we are the most free by today's standard, we have the most options, but yet we're the most broke in most cases, and our communities are just fucked. You know what I'm saying? How is that? You know what I'm saying? So there is something broken within our community. It's the culture within our community that must be fixed. But the problem is when you got people like me that would bring shit up like that, we get attacked for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, fuck it then. Like I'm just gonna just worry about my family. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. And I think that's the only way we'll be able to get better, if black people start being like just take their family and just try to better their families and stuff like that. Until you get a group of people that's better in themselves, and that would, you know what I'm saying, like course correct things and stuff. But the family unit, we got to bring that back. The family unit has to be brought back and stuff like that. And
but I think the major incentive, like you said, was that there's no incentive for a black man to stay with the lady he impregnates. That's just the thing that
well, it started with the Democratic Party. Like I said, they was the one that introduced welfare. You know what I'm saying? And remember, it was during a time where there were black families that were struggling and shit like that. So the incentive was that, you know, in order for you to get this money, no father or no man is allowed to be present in that household. So what the black woman did was like got rid of the black man, got rid of him, and the incentive was the more kids she had, the more money she get from the system and stuff. But that was made by design. So that's why then you have the war on crime, with Biden, the war on drugs, when he passed that, when that whole thing, Bill Clinton and all them, and that incarcerated a lot of black men as well. And like I said, a lot of black men would get more time for the same crimes that a white person would do, especially with drugs and stuff like that. He would get double that. You know what I'm saying? That shit did exist. You know what I'm saying? So that was, like I said, it was a lot of that design, and we're still trying to recuperate from that. But we can't recuperate if we're all fighting each other, because we got black folks saying that you're not black enough. It's colorism. Oh, you're a light-skinned nigga, so I don't fuck with you. And there's all kinds of other stuff. It's dumb shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of infighting.
But then you have people that feel like they're owed something. Like there are people that are still asking for reparations, and it's like, what amount of money could be given to you that would even possibly fix that? Also, no amount of money is going to be good enough anyway, because people are going to be like, but I deserve more for what my family went through. It's like, it's stupid.
And the thing is, the whole reparation thing, I think we already passed that shit. I don't think we ever get it. And I understand why my people is asking for it, because every other person, the Jews got some. You know what I'm saying? When we bombed with Hiroshima, we helped rebuild with Japan and shit like that. We did everything for every other race of people. We gave back to them. But when it came to us, they beat our asses. They did all these things to us, but they won't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why Black people are talking about reparations and want reparations, but we're so far removed. There's so many generations now. Like, do you come from a family of slaves and all this other type of stuff? So now it's harder to try to distinguish who comes from what or whatever like that, to see who gets that money and stuff like that. But I do agree when it comes to that. Black people have a right to ask for it, especially when America has given other people their just deserves for a lot of fucked up things that we have done to other cultures and shit like that. But for some strange reason, they don't want to give us shit. So
it's also another thing is, like, even if they magically got the money, I don't even think they would use the money for anything good.
Oh, no. This is what I learned when I learned. If you're bad with money when you have no money, then you're gonna be bad with money when you have money. And what I mean by that is, if you're frivolous with your money and you don't have shit. Like I said, I know niggas who always stay broke. They say they're broke. They say they're struggling, but every time I turn around, they spending money on weed and all kinds of other dumb shit. So if I was to give that nigga that $100,000, he's not going to do right by it, because now with that much money, he has access to more frivolous. He can do more frivolous things, spending on bitches, spending on drugs, spending on cars and stuff. But what I'll tell you one thing, if you do give niggas reparations, that shit will go right back into the economy, though. That will pump the fuck out of the economy, because niggas spend money. You see the Chappelle show when they did that shit? That's exactly what happened. Dave Chappelle, that show, that's true. Like, because we don't know how, like, only people like me is the only one. Like, people like me are the ones that would actually invest it in something. Man, I will build the shit out of Venus Orion Comics. I will
give you a grant of like $30,000.
Dude, I will flip the shit out of that. But most Black people won't flip that shit. They would like, and what also prove is income taxes. There's always a joke with Black people with income taxes. They always have a meme where you see a Black person, he bought a tiger and shit like that, and got all these gold chains and shit like that, or a nigga bought a helicopter. And like that's the thing. When even during income taxes, niggas would spend it on the most expensive car, knowing damn well that income tax would like, once it's going, how are you going to pay that car note once the income taxes are going? How are you going to afford that? And that's what niggas do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why my dad taught me. That's why my dad owns 4 houses and stuff, because my dad would save his income taxes. He would save it, don't spend it, because he taught me, like, you've been surviving without income taxes for this long. So why would you get it? You decide you want to just spend it up. No, pretend that money don't exist and put it away. And that's what my dad did. And the next thing you know, my dad's sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of years, for sitting on his income taxes. And that's why he's able to go out and buy property and do these things and stuff like that. While on the other end, niggas are going out buying Lexus, BMWs,
buying Jordans,
buying Jordans and shit like that.
I know these dudes are spending money on girls' OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, Today, in today's society, OnlyFans, buying it on bitches and shit like that, spending all this damn money and everything. So it's all about your upbringing, you being taught and stuff. And there's not a lot of Black families or Black people who are taught how to save money and how to spend their money smart and stuff like that. And you also have this thing where Black people are so used to not having shit. When they finally have something, they go out on a limb and just spend. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so used to not having shit. So I also see where that mentality comes from as well. I can see both sides, but it's still no excuse for the fuckery that that Black people do. So you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I grown up in the hood. I know how this shit is. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it every day. I have relatives and family members that live a certain way, and I've seen it growing up and everything. And luckily, I had my mom and dad that raised me much differently. And that's why people used to call me white boy and stuff like that, because I had a mother and a father. and I was treated like a privileged kid in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I had any video game that I want. I had no reason to run the streets because all my entertainment was home. Kids came to my house to play the latest video game. I had my own, like when kids came to my house, they were surprised to see that I didn't have to share my console with my siblings. I had my own console, and my siblings had their own consoles. My dad had his own console. We all had our own individual televisions. So a lot of them were surprised. Was mind blowing when they walked in and seen shit like that, and that also brought a lot of problems because I had a lot of people who I thought were my friends that were jealous of me because I had that mother and father. I had this lifestyle.
That's why they say having two parents makes that impact. With having one, it just makes it hard. It's not like it's impossible. I've seen dudes with single moms and people make it work, but it just makes it harder. It's not that it's impossible. It's just that extra. Imagine if it was just your dad, not your mom there, or imagine if vice versa was just your grandma or your aunt. Oh, before we go, a little bit more time. Venus Orion, your comic book company, Venus Orion Comics. So you were just recently at a con. You were signing some books. How did that go?
Oh, it went really, really good, man. And like I said, it's always a wonder. It always amazes me to see people walk up and be into or show intrigue or interest in something that I've created. Like when they come over, the first thing I introduce them is to my phase 1 poster board. It shows the various different comic book series that's coming out in the fold for phase 1, which is called The Foundation, which introduces the foundational framework for my universe. And I love the fact is that people are so into it where they ask questions. Oh, so what is this character? Or, oh, do you have this in your universe and stuff like that? And I love every last bit of it. And then the fact is that when people ask, yo, can you sign my book and stuff like that? I'm like, oh man, people actually, because sometimes I forget that, about that. Like people want signatures and stuff like that. That's why I keep reminding myself to bring marker with me. And everything. So signing books and people wanting to take pictures and stuff, and people, wish me the best of luck. They say, yo, man, Venus Orion Comics is going to blow up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm buying this book right now. I need your signature because it will blow up and stuff. So people, always leave positive energy and everything. And I just love it. Just something that I created I thought of as a child is now came to life. And that J1 Con is just more of that love and more of that appreciation. And some of my subscribers actually came and showed up too, and I was able to take some pictures with them, and they all chilled at my booth, and that was also fun. So they also got a chance to they said, can you show some of the art and characters? If MSK if that's
I got
okay
it right here.
yeah. But yeah, man, my website is venusorion.com comics.com, so you can be able to pick up my comic. The physical comic is $16. The digital is $5. I have a variant store cover. Well, actually, I have it right here. I'll show you guys. And another thing I want to, let me. I forgot to mention this too.
This was the website for anyone, VenusOrionComics.com. Right here. Make sure you guys follow the newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I know you made a separate YouTube channel for this too. Yeah.
So with VenusOrionComics.com, if you sign up to the newsletters for free, it costs you nothing to do that. You get free wallpapers during the newsletters when I send them out and everything, discount codes for merchandise. And that's the comic right there. This is my first comic that launched this year to kick off my shared universe. With Variant Killer's Vampire Killers. I had a successful campaign earlier this year on Kickstarter. For those of you who don't know, in order for me to actually, for this universe to actually expand and for me to actually release these comics, I have to do campaigns first, Kickstarter campaigns. They're not crowdfunders. They're pre-order campaigns. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that I pay the money to my artists up front to get the book done. So when I do the campaign, it's more of a pre-order, and that money is used to cover the cost of printing and also to ship it out. And what's left over gets reinvested back into the business to help further to make more books and everything. So yes, the first campaign, I needed a goal of 4,000, end up making $7,000 for the first campaign. It was successful. So after the campaign is done, after the fulfillment is done, the only cover that's available is the base cover of Variant Killer's Vampire Killers. And then, of course, go to the website. You can be able to check out the trailer, check out the synopsis for it and everything. It follows the story of 3 vampire hunter. They are brothers named they call them the Draven brothers. And essentially what happened was two of their mentors were killed, Lionel and Rosalie. They were murdered, and they end up seeking the help of Varian Keller, thus the title, Varian Keller Vampire Killers. He's a skilled vampire hunter who promised to train them in order to go after the vampire named Alan Fleck, who killed their mentors. But there's a problem. During what kicks off chapter 1 is for the simple fact that one of Varian Keller's colleagues was murdered. His name is Dreaddiller, and he kind of like pretty much sidetracked and pretty much shoved the brothers off to the side to focus on avenging or finding out who murdered his colleague. So they kind of pissed off the older brother, Hezekiah Draven, who you see on the front cover. So he wanted to take matters into his own hands to find Alan Fleck himself. And he told his brothers to stay out of it or whatever. So what happens is another member of the group named Techlock, he said, hey, Hezekiah, I don't think this is a good idea, and I can't have you do this by yourself. So if you are going to go out and do this, I'll help you out. So he used his tech skills and wound up doing some research and digging and found out there's this girl named Jasmine Mitchell, this goth chick, who has some connection to Alan Fleck. And that's why in chapter 1, he's on his way to meet up with Jasmine Mitchell to get information out of her. And people who read the book,
I know. People who read the book are like, "Hey, where's book 2?" But then you gotta tell them, these things doesn't grow on trees. These books cost a lot of money. But
people who read the book is like, dude, that ending to chapter 1, bro. I have to see chapter 2 because the way you ended that book, I did not expect you to go that way. How you ended it that way and stuff. And I really appreciate that response. Because like I said, people get attached to certain characters because I was revealing characters before the launch of the book and everything. And some people got attached to certain characters. And but so on the website, there's also a store cover, variant cover that you can only get from the store, which is my trigger cover. Also too, this week I will be uploading because I still have leftover inventory of my variant covers from the Kickstarter. Covers B, which is the face portrait cover, and then cover C, the monochrome cover, and then cover D, which is the manga cover, which is a double spread. You open it up, it shows when you open it up, what I do with cover D's for VK, I put little clues in it if that foreshadows either events in the book or foreshadow future events that's going to happen later on in the series. Nope, I'm not in comic book stores. That's going to come a little bit later. Right now, just my website. You can get it from there. I just got a bunch of orders before I got. That's why we started a little bit late because a bunch of orders came in. And I had to handle those orders, which I really appreciate. That's something that I love. That's a problem or a worry I love to have. Just like the store cover. Somebody, when I first uploaded the store cover, somebody bought the entire stock. They bought out the entire inventory. One person. And I had to restock. I had to go reorder these store covers. But I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Venus Comics. There will be a Patreon cover coming soon, and there will be a convention cover for chapter 1 coming soon. So people love to collect variant covers, which there's quite a few people who's been showing me their collection so far and got them graded. 2 people so far got this graded. And there's a third person who just hit me up saying they're about to get theirs graded and everything. So yeah. So if you're interested in Venus Orion Comics, definitely check it out. And as I said before, this stuff is expensive. This stuff costs a lot of money. I'm paying out of my pocket and stuff. So if you want to show support, and even if you're not a comic book reader and you just want to show support Venus Orion Comics, Venus Orion Comics do have a PayPal that you can send money to if you want to. I also suggest go to the Patreon because the Patreon gives you behind the scenes, of the creation of Varian Keller's Vampire Killers, and even the earlier drafts of how my characters look, not even just from Varian Keller's Vampire Killers, but from my other comic book series that I'm also working on. So you get all that type of stuff. And also I do lore videos where they have somebody that actually reads like the panels and stuff as it scrolls and break down certain parts of chapter 1 of VK, and that same process is going to happen for when I release other books. So yes, the thing that frustrates me the most is that these books can't come out fast enough. You know what I'm saying? Because this stuff is super expensive.
Comic book costs Yeah, because I remember people were doing the calculations. Like a 24-page comic book can cost like $6K.
Let me put it
a little bit more.
Mine's just that I don't want to discuss how much I pay my artists, but let me just put it this way. The first chapter nearly cost me 10K, and that was 28 pages. And this next one that's going to be 60 pages is going to cost me over 10K to make.
Good Lord. Fuck.
Yeah, so this shit costs money. And that's why, like I said, I don't want to do the crowdfunding route, because then my goal would have to be higher, because 4,000 wasn't really the goal of like that. That's just to get enough so I'm able to at least get the books out there. But but most Kickstarters, a lot of people is not honest. When you see the goals on Kickstarters or any other platform, that's not.
Oh, I've known that for a while. Whenever I had indie comic book creators on, whenever I would see the goal and it'll be like $500, I'll be like, "There's no way. That's just not possible."
I know it's when it's 500. That's more so because if they're the artists, so if they're the artists and they're drawing their own book and stuff, that cuts out most of the costs. That cuts out most. Of the cost.
Like Lunchbox Warren, he draws his own books.
Yeah. Is that the
Eric said, is that production cost, not including packaging and shipping?
Yeah, not include. Yeah. That's not including packaging and packaging and shipping. That's not included. That's how much it costs me to get the book drawn up, colored, and everything. And remember, that's just the draw of the pages. That's not counting that I have to pay my artist to do my covers. All 4 covers. I'm not going to share how much I had to pay her to just do these individual covers. That's not counting the covers. Then that's not even counting her doing my trailer. Like that little 5-second animation of Hezekiah driving on the rooftop, that cost me $800 by itself for 5 seconds. I paid a shit ton of money. It cost
fucking hell.
money.
I can go to a strip club right now and get a hand job for more than that.
That cost me 800. And remember, in my trailer, there was voice acting. I paid voice actors out of my pocket, and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I really believe in this, and everything. So I'm willing to spend that money, and stuff. But that's why I tell people when people ask me, so when did chapter 2 come out? Let's just say it come out next year, but I can't give you a date. I can't give you a date because
keep in mind the second book's gonna have more pages, which is gonna take more time to do. The campaign's gonna, like I said before, it's gonna need to make a little bit more money. You know?
Because I only can afford to pay my artists per a certain amount of pages per month to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. I don't give her the money all at one time to do all the pages. No, I have to pay her per month, because remember, I still have other bills. I have bills to pay and stuff like that.
God damn,
so I still got bills. I still got bills to pay and stuff like that. So some months I can probably get her to do 5 pages, but in other months it's probably only 3 pages because I have to pay money over here. So that's why I'm saying that's why when people ask me when the next chapter come out, like I'm aiming for a 2026 release. But yes, I'm on Twitter. Just Mugen Lord. Just type me in Mugen Lord. Oh yeah, I got my links. I'll put it in the private chat for you guys. So he can pass it to you guys and everything.
And the last thing we're going to talk about here, because I know the last time you were on, you mentioned you were going to kind of scale back doing like the culture war content. Or so did you ended up doing that? You ended up kind of
I have not one culture war video in a long time. Yeah. I'm just talking about video games and games that I like. And I'm also reviewing comic books now too. I reviewed indie comic called Perfect 10 by David Grant.
My goodness, I know
that's David Comics. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like I think I found a new calling, a new niche, because on my Venus and Ryan Comics Twitter, when I put that review up, I had so many people follow me and said, "Man, I love your review. I want to see more." Like now, people suggesting or asking me, "Could I review more books and stuff like that?" I even had other indie people saying, "Yo, like I would send you a copy of my book. I would love for you to review it." I'm like, "Oh shit, I was not expecting this." So that may be something new I may be doing moving forward. Also, too, reviewing indie books. I try to do it underneath. I'm doing it underneath the Mugen Lord banner. I tried to do it underneath Venus and Ryan Comics because I don't know, like, how it feel me being a comic book indie guy and I'm reading other my fellow indie guys and stuff like that. I don't want to be
people kind of see that as unprofessional, but the thing is, I don't even look at things like that anymore. It's like like you said before, you kind of have to build up your own image and shit like that. It's like, I at the end of the day, me myself, even I had to stop worrying about what other people are going to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, you're right.
Hey, you got to just go with it. Cause like, hey, these books, if you didn't review them, or if other people don't review the indie books, no one's going to do it, because that's a general rule in comic books. No one cares about indie books. That's the general rule. It's like, I don't really care about things that aren't big, So if people review them more, that's more attention that the book gets,
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make that a new segment, where I do review books, and everything, because I had fun. It became a new hobby. It actually got me engaged in it and stuff like that. Because like I said, I got a bunch of indie books. People still want me to review some of the Ripperverse stuff. A lot of people want to review the Cyber Frog from Ethan as well. And Tyler Carpenter's Mega Fist book and everything. And I still got to do I still got to get the first issue to Phenomenova, because I thought I bought the catch-up pack from Phenomenova to get both issue 1 and 2, but for some strange reason that didn't happen, so I only got 2, so I get 1, and then I'll review his book too, as well. But as far as the culture war stuff is concerned, yeah, man, I left that shit alone, dude. It was stressful. And I started saying to myself, why the fuck am I talking about this stuff when I got Venus Orion Comics? I'm doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I found solace, or I found joy in just creating my own shit and creating my own universe. And those who want to embrace it or want to be part of the Venus Orion Comics community, the doors is open for them to be part of that community and stuff, and just block out all that other fucking nonsense and stuff. Because I learned that even in the culture war stuff, a lot of people that bitch and complain about the stuff that's wrong and stuff, they like, when you hand solutions to them, they don't go out and support it and shit like that. So then you just want to bitch and complain just to bitch and complain and shit like that. And then a lot of people within the culture war space, they don't like nuance. There's nuance to a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then when I started bringing nuance to stuff, then people started calling me woke, or when I put or I give pushback on certain situations and stuff. So the very people that I'm like that I'm presenting this stuff to is the same people that's also attacking me now. And now I'm getting attacked from both sides. And stuff, because I'm trying to bring some nuance, because not everything is black and white. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm trying to teach, and I'm trying to teach everybody, think for yourself. I think we gotten to the point where some of these content creators, man, we do have grifters in this space. And a lot of people
pretty much showed that.
Yeah, we got a lot of grifters in this space, because they realize all you gotta do is say, hey, I hate Disney or I hate wokeness, and people will flock to you, and you can make a shit ton of money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ended up happening and stuff. So you got a lot of grifters in the space, and people like me who's keeping it real and staying honest about it. I get so much shit, but people will follow these grifters and give their hard-earned money to these grifters, and just get grifted, and they get surprised when the masks slip off and stuff. Like, I said, like, I told y'all. I said, I warned y'all.
That last Melanie Mac video that she did, where she was like, my whole life is just nothing but negativity, but you're the one that brought that on yourself.
Yeah,
what? This is why women are stupid. Like, what? She's like, my whole life is full of negativity now, and I have no happy outlets.
Yeah, I felt
you problem. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, dude, I started finding myself stressing out because of all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I was like, this is not getting fun. And then this was like, when you're a part of a certain community or you're engaged in this stuff, you start to know the ins and outs. You start to know how the machine works. When I started doing this culture war stuff, I started noticing when there's like drought periods, I started seeing them. I'm like, man, there's nothing to talk about. So now I'm finding myself scouring the internet to see what culture war stuff I can talk about. And then I said, wait a minute. Now I'm starting to see where the grifting is coming from. I'm starting to see where the rage baiting is coming from, is where when they're starting to become a drought, people start making up shit, or people take shit that really isn't, and then blow it into something, much bigger than what it actually is. And I refuse to do that. When I start seeing that, I said, yo, I can't find anything. You know what? Well, I guess there's no video for this week as far as culture war is concerned, because I'm not going to sit there and make something up just to get the clicks and stuff like that. And I'm starting to see that. And then once I started getting the viewerships and getting really high up there, and I started noticing with the algorithm where when I started trying to create things that wasn't culture war, I got punished for it. because then the algorithm saying, yo, like, dude, you're like, no one wants to see this or whatever like that. So what happens is you get stuck in like a hamster in a wheel where you like, damn, like if I do stray off the path, then I get punished for it, and then I get less traction, I get less views, and then notifications, YouTube starts sending notifications out. So okay, I won't do this. I'll just stick to culture war stuff, and that's what happens. People start becoming a slave to that content, is because the moment they try to break away, do something different, they get punished for it. So they stay within the culture war stuff, and then when they start making money, they start making a living off of it. Now they become a slave to the money. They become a slave to the algorithm. So now, no matter what, even if they don't want to do the content, they have to do the content because they built their whole platform on this stuff. And then even if they have a nuanced take, they can't give a nuanced take is because of their audience, because they're afraid that their audience is going to turn on them. So if they turn on them, that's when they start to lose the money. And then what happens is you have people within the culture workspace start to form their own Illuminati, their own clique, their own clique. So then what happens is, I also learned this too. I also learned what people within these cliques do. They all agree to upload around the same time. So they take up the algorithm, they take up the space, they take it up. So when you click on a topic, only their videos will pop up. It pushes everybody's out and stuff like that. So then also too, if they're all in this Illuminati culture war like clique or whatever like that, everybody's sharing each other's audience, which means everybody's making money. They're all sharing the money together. So this also means too, if somebody's being a hypocrite within their clique, they will look the other way, and they won't call them out, because if they call them out, that means if it could be some beef, it could create some friction between them, and then it will cause a beef and a war between them. And then once they split off, that means that's that audience. They lost that person's audience, which means they're going to see a dip in their money. So in order to keep the money circulating, they have to be ignorant to what other people are doing within their clique. They would have to look the other way and stuff like that. And that's the thing that started upsetting me and pissing me off. I'm like, yo, this person is clearly a grifter. This person is clearly a scam artist and shit like that. And yet no one is saying nothing. No one is calling this person out and shit like that. And the reason why they won't call them out is because they're all in on it together. And they can't afford to call them out, because that means they'll lose that person's audience. They can no longer tap into that person's audience.
That's where I saw like the veil come off of a lot of these people when it's a Melanie Mac situation where she was on a lot of people's channels. And I'm not saying these people are bad people. I'm not saying that maybe they didn't want to do it, but it was just kind of odd where if this would if she wasn't a part of their clique, they would call the person out many videos, right? She said all that shit. She did all that shit, and then there was nothing, just crickets. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. Like Night and Nair said, where did rage baiting come from? Anyways, I mean, it's not where it comes from. It's more, it's like a human thing. Like, you find something that brings in attention. Negativity just brings in attention. It brings money. It brings clicks. So that's how you create rage bait. You know it works. You know that drama. You know that anything that's going to get people riled up is going to bring traffic to you. So you just do it. That's part of the social media culture. Social media culture, that's what it is. It's all about the clicks. So you had your clickbait, and now you got rage bait now, because the rage bait is more so because of the culture war stuff. Anything that can get the crowd riled up when it comes to anything politically, social politics, or anything like that. You know, you just say the right things and you can get people going. And only you have to be true. Or what they do is they take the truth and they exaggerate the truth even farther and stuff. And that's why I try to teach my audience, even question me, because I'm a human. I'm human. Yeah. I have flaws like everybody else. And I always tell people, don't put me on a pedestal. Do not put me on a pedestal. I will make mistakes. I will have takes that you will not agree with. So that's the problem. Like, society have left the mainstream media, have left one machine, and they moved on to the next, to a whole nother machine. And this time that machine, they look like everyday people like you and I. You know what I'm saying? And there's the content creators. Now you have to watch content creators now, because content creators have become so powerful. They have built their own echo chambers. They have built their own cult-like community and stuff like that. And they can weaponize that or even abuse and take advantage of. So now we in the era of, like I said, think for yourself. Even when it comes to game reviews, I tell people, don't even listen to these content creators either. Just do what you used to do back in the day. Play the fucking game. If you like it, you like it. If you hate it, then go online and say, yo, guys, I played it. I hate it. I can't stand this game. Yada, 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 yada.
But when you're watching someone, just don't take their opinion as that's just truth. It's just their opinion.
Yeah, it's just their opinion.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to do now, because now you can't even trust these content creators out there, because now they even they are compromised and stuff. They all even they have their own agendas and stuff like that. And I always keep stressing that. And what made me know it got bad is when Stellar Blade came out, and people found out that some of Eve's costumes were censored. And I already made it known that there's a degree of censorship that I don't care about, like Eve's situation, because they put a nylon piece of layer over some of her outfits. I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, Eve is still sexy. She's still got the jiggle physics. She's still got so that doesn't bother me. But to some people, that matters and stuff like that. And I respect, how they feel about that. But for me, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? All I asked was for, let's go back to what it was in the 90s and early 2000s. Badass female characters and sexy on top of that. You know what I'm saying? And they're just, you know what I'm saying? That's what I asked for. They gave me that with Eve. I can care less about the nylon layer over certain parts of her thighs and shit like that. Then, like me, that's just picking at pixels at this point for me, in my personal opinions. But I had people literally hit me up in my DM, Mugen Lord, like, what should I do? Like, I really want to play this game, but they censored her or whatever like that. But I really want to play it, and they still did a good job this and the other. I'm like, why the fuck are you asking me? I'm the arbiter of this shit. Like, but if you want to play the game, play the game. Don't give a fuck what other people say. Play the damn game. Why are you coming to me to make that decision for you? You know what I'm saying? That's how I knew it's getting bad, that we left one machine and then we moving over here, and you're going up to these content creators asking, for permission. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no. I didn't fight for this. This wasn't what I was fighting for. No. That's how I knew it. We're going down the wrong path with this stuff. And that's why I said I have to get away from it, because it was stressing me out. It was actually getting me depressed, because I'm like, damn, like there's what do I'm always upset. I'm always finding myself upset because I have to read this stuff. I have to read these articles and stuff, and then send the news out there to educate people, allow people to make their own educated decision whether or not they want to support something. Because I always tell people that I'm not here to tell you what to support and what not to support, because that would make me a hypocrite to tell you not to support it and then go around and then go buy it, and then I go buy it, just like what Dreamcast guy does all the time. Do not buy this or do not buy that, and then he buys it and shit like that. I hate shit like that. So that's why I try to teach everybody: think for yourself. Don't take everything I say for face value. Even research what I say. I always tell people to research what I say and shit, because sometimes I can get things wrong. I'm a human. I make mistakes as well, or like that. And the thing about me, I can admit when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about something, I can say, yo, you know what, guys, y'all was fucking right. I was fucking wrong. You know what I'm saying? There's a few times I had L takes on Twitter, and I came back and said, guys, y'all was right about that. I was fucking wrong about that. And I said that numerous of times and stuff. But with these content creators today, they start to build these egos and stuff like that, where they can't be wrong, or they can't admit that they're wrong about certain things that they got wrong. You get so much respect when you can say that you was wrong about something in the social media space or in the content creation space and stuff. You can get so much back from your community and so much respect and say, you know what, I was wrong about that, and move on. But so many people fight that shit. They do all this mental gymnastics not to take any accountability for the mistakes that they make, and they just end up making shit worse. I'd rather just come out and say I fucked up, and then we can just move on. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be more fuck ups to come. You're human. You're going to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Just how bad you fuck up is the thing that matters. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that I had gotten from that, and I feel so much better. I no longer stress about this, about this whole thing anymore, because I said I'll leave it to the people that does the culture war stuff. That's their job. Because every once in a while I still get people that says to me, hey, Mugen Lord, they'll send me something. I really want to hear your take on it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll still talk about culture war stuff on my streams, but as far as content is concerned, because remember, I started with culture war early. I mean, 2015 is when I actually started doing this shit, but it was through streaming, like it's Mugen Lord at night. That's what I call it, Mugen at night. That's where we talk about that shit. But So I still talk about it, but I talk about it with my audience. Like, we have fun, we talk about it, we go into conspiracy theories and stuff, but that's part of the program of my stream and everything. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me trying to make content, and now I won't say I won't ever do it. If something comes up that I'm passionate about, I will talk about it, but I'm not going to try to cover everything. And that was another thing. It was a rat race because news get old so fast.
Hi, Katie.
Oh, hey, Katie. What's up? News get old so fast in the culture war space. It really does. And sometimes when I put the content out, I used to get niggas mad at me and say, dude, like, I thought I'm clicking thinking it's a new video or a new or there was an update. Dude, they talk. This is the thing. They talked about this a day ago. Like, damn, like a day ago, like like news evolve and it updates so fast.
Yeah, with situations like that, based on what you're saying, I see it too. Like, a situation will happen, and then the next day it already evolves, so you already missed a window on even talking about it to the next issue. I mean, you have to pair yesterday's information with today's information. Got to make and you have to, like, that's just a machine you have to just feed yourself into. I remember, like, Jeremy was a D-Day Cobra. He had a video saying, yeah, I just kind of got burnt out on doing it. I'm just not going to do that anymore unless I really feel passionate. It's like, you have people that are angry if you don't upload fast enough. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was experiencing, burnout, because if I didn't get a hold of it and everybody else got a hold of it before I did, then I was late to the party. Then it definitely wouldn't get clicks because somebody already covered it. And it got to the point where I said, what more can I contribute to this topic when every motherfucker within the space all covered it around the same time? And I'm like, what more can I contribute? I know some people love my opinion and they want to hear the Mugen Lord take on things. But after a while, I said, it doesn't make sense to me when you have like 80 other dudes within the, like, chicks and dudes in the space.
And someone probably gave your opinion because, like, it's 80 people. Someone had your specific opinion. There's no way. Like,
it sounds like, it was no way. I'm like, I can't keep up with this shit. Every time I turn around, it's something new. I'm like, and remember, I'm doing Venus and Ryan comics. Like this is my baby right here. I said, I'm not going to stop working on a script, or I'm not going to stop working on a website, or if I'm talking to my artist and she's drawing up a new character of mine that I have in mind and stuff like that. I'm not going to stop that just to talk about, something that some woke Kool-Aid color hair feminist had said about a particular game or whatever.
Gotta make another video on the next Grums post. It's like, it's not that important. Like,
it's not that important.
And then people at this point now are like, well, Grums, he's just either people say he should just finish his game, or they talk about whatever he talks about in his fucking tweets or whatever. It's like that's the point now when someone just makes a tweet, you just make an entire like 10-minute video about it. I'm not doing that. If I'm making videos on the show, I pile all the information together. I'm not piling just one day's worth, because you've been this. The next day something big happens. Now it's like, fuck.
And not only that too, another thing I didn't like is that it's only with the big content creators. It's only with the big content creators within the space. I started having people within my community saying, yo, like, Mugen Lord, this motherfucker just took your whole video and didn't even credit you, or they would take your tweet and then they would cut out your name. They would cut out your name or they would have your tweet as a thumbnail and monetize the shit and don't even shout you out. And these are big people within the space. Big people within this space. And because those people, the reason why they won't mention my name, because what that's going to do, that's going to bring more people to me. And they don't want that. They want their crowd to stay with them. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that too, which kind of irritated me and shit like that. And especially what really pissed me off was when I had gotten to that conversation with Anita Sarkeesian's one of her soldiers, that trans
I remember that one.
And they had over 1 million something views, and there was a lot of people within the space that covered it, right? And to remind you, I watched these people. They covered it, and not once have they mentioned my name, because normally when they cover other people's stuff, they mention their name, they put the link to where you can follow them and stuff. But when it came to me, they never mentioned my name. They either crop my name out of the tweet or whatever my content that it is. They don't even mention my handle. They don't even link me. They don't even link me or anything. And when I started seeing, and these are people that I like, that I follow and shit like that. And I was like, oh, interesting. I said, okay. And I was like, I ain't fucking with them no more. You know what I'm saying? So I see that. But like I said, it's only the big YouTubers If the smaller YouTubers, they always hit me up. Hey, Mugen, and the thing is, I don't care, but it's the fact is that if you're going out your way to crop me, you won't even at least give me the credit or whatever like that. I say, I see what that is. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of fake people within the space. A lot of fake people within the space. And I was like, you know what? I want no parts of this space. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to just walk. I just wanted to just slow away from it, and then talk about shit I want to talk about. Final Fantasy Tactics, Evil's Chronicles just came out. I'm picking it up this week. I want to talk about that. Going to have fun with that. Yeah, I'm not going to get a lot of views. I know it's going to hurt me in the algorithm. Don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I stopped caring about the algorithm and all that shit.
Yeah. I lost about 100 subscribers or like that. The moment I stopped talking about culture wars, some people, I was starting to see a decline in my subscriber base. People are starting to leave out. So I'm not talking about culture war, which is fine. I don't care or whatever. But yeah, I want to start doing other things. Like I said, I did my indie comic review. No one really watched it like that or whatever. But that's something I'm passionate about. So it's like I have to start over again. So despite me having 24K subscribers, it's like I don't really have 24K subscribers because of my view counts. Everything. So it's like me starting over
YouTube. Again. People forget you could have like 24,000 subscribers, but
there's
more people that watch your stuff are not subscribed.
So subscribe.
Yeah. So you understand, subscribers to view count is never ever going to match up. Even when you have like 10 subscribers, you could have like 50 views on each video. Yeah.
So like bigger content
creators tend to have enormous normie communities anyway. A lot of their fans are as fake as they are. Good lord.
Dude. And so I found more happiness. And just having fun talking about the things I want to talk about and stuff like that, especially when it comes to Venus and Ryan comics. I enjoy talking about Venus and Ryan comics. That's why I got so much content that I want to share that I can't share because there's certain other things that have to fall in line before I'm able to reveal other things and stuff. At J1 Con, let me just say an anime voice dub actor, anime voice actor. I talked with. There's two of them that want to do voices for Varian Keller's Vampire Killers. One of them voiced a very popular character from a very popular anime. I talked with this individual, and they gave me their business card and everything, and they said they would love to do voice work for Venus and Ryan comics. And then I have another anime voice actor. Let me just put it this way: somebody from Naruto, a voice actor from wants to do would like to do voice work.
If you got the lady that's like that the bio Sasuke, throw that bitch to the fucking curb.
Yeah, so let's just put it this way: somebody from Naruto would love to do voice work because I met them at the con. I met them like that because my brother Strike, he wants to get into voice acting. And my brother Strike DX end up becoming friends with some of these voice actors or whatever like that within the space. And my brother was sitting at this person's table talking with them and stuff. And he was this individual was giving them pointers, gave the business card and stuff, and said, yeah, this, that, and third. Then he came over to my table, this individual, and then we started talking and everything. And then another person from another anime came over. However, like that, and saw Venus and Ryan comics. Said, "Oh man, this looks awesome!" This, that, and never. And they wanted me to break down everything and stuff like that. And they said, "Man, I would love," and gave me their card and said, "Man, I would love to do voice work for you and stuff like that." So who knows? Like we'll see where that goes. When we get to doing more voice acting stuff, because I want to give my characters actual like life. I wanted to give them voices and stuff like that. So there's going to be some content that I will be releasing where and stuff like that, where characters will be talking and stuff like that. I'm put little mini content out there and everything, and I can't wait to see how that evolves, because I do want the stuff to become an anime at some point. Definitely video games, and stuff like that.
Then the last few things I'll ask you. First thing is, do you have anything planned coming up for the rest of the year in 2025, going into 2026 that you would like to let the audience know about?
Well, I do have my last tour for the year before I finish doing cons for the rest of the year. It's a one day type of convention. It's called Arts Cartoon. It's in Manayunk, PA. Well, it's right. I mean, it's in Philadelphia. It's right next to Philly. It's in Manayunk. It's a 1-day event. I'll be there. It's gonna be, but it starts at 7 p.m. and it ends at 11 p.m. So I'll have a booth there along with my brother. Will have his booth for striking KOTs and stuff like that. So if you happen, I'll be posting the community tab and even on Twitter of when. I'll give you to give people the address of where it's at. So if you in Jersey, Delaware, or whatever, Philly, and you want to stop by and support Venus Orion Comics and maybe buy a book or just want to just chill and just talk with me and stuff like that, you can do that. So I'll be posting that up. So make sure you constantly check either my Venus Orion Comics channel, community tab, or check the my Venus Orion Comics Twitter, or check my Mugen Lord Twitter or my Mugen Lord. I post in 4 places. I'm mostly in 4 places. I'm on Instagram. I post on Instagram. I need to post more frequent, but I do post there as well. So you can check that. I'll be posting that on Instagram too. So you better get that details and everything. Another announcement. I revealed Dr. Briggs, who's one of the members of the Retributes and Varian Keller's Vampire Killers. And she's going to be in chapter 2. There's another character that will be revealed before the year's out. So stay tuned for that. So you'll be able to see the entire team once, from Varian himself that he put together. Because so far you already seen the first couple of members. You saw Tech Lock, who was in the book. Then you've seen Hezekiah Draven, and of course his brothers, Isaiah and Caleb, and now Dr. Briggs. And now there's 2 other members that has yet to be revealed. So this other member will be revealed before the year is out. So stay tuned for that. And I gotta find a voice actor for this character, and then I have to find a voice actress for Dr. Briggs, because I want to redo that reveal trailer, but I want to add her voice to it. So stay tuned for that. And yes, this time around, because a lot of you guys asked me and told me that you got to do it. You guys want me to voice Hezekiah Draven, so I will be the official voice for Hezekiah Draven moving forward. And the person who voiced Hezekiah, I'm going to give him another, but a more important role, and or whatever like that. So stay tuned. So he didn't lose any position; he just got another important role. So okay. So I just moved him to another role that's just as important. So yeah. So stay tuned. You'll be hearing my voice as Hezekiah. My brother Kevin and my brother Darius, they will be voicing Strike and Keo and VK as well, and my dad will be voicing Varian. So stay tuned for that. So I'm excited for that.
All right, and the last thing I'll ask you, man, is do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone in particular, and anything else you want to say before you head out?
Yeah, I'll just shout out to you, man, for allowing me to be on this platform. It's always good to
anytime
to hang out and stuff. Shout out to my boy Leon, and shout out to Cassie Cage. Shout out to LG. Shout out to Landon. Shout out to Coleman. Shout out to Laura Blades. Shout out to my crew. Period. Y'all knew Derpy. Y'all all know who you are and stuff. It's too many of y'all to name, but you guys have been sticking behind me since the very beginning. A shout out to Hypnotic, because if it wasn't for Hypnotic, I don't even know if this book would have came out or not, or if it would have reached its goal or not. So shout out to Hypnotic and the Hypnocast and his crew as well. And I appreciate all you guys. You guys are like family to me. I always look forward to getting online, talking with you guys. I always look forward to your podcast, because we just off the cuff. I love these conversations. We just don't know where the conversation is going to go. We just talk, and I love
getting a chance to shit on women. That's
this dude
brings light to my day.
And shout out to Talcum too. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, of course. Cole is cool as well. So yeah, man. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Guapo. Appreciate
Good
it.
Lord, it's not Tuesday, man. Well, fuck it, it's still Tuesday. God damn it, I gotta go back to work this week. Oh my god.
You was on vacation or something?
No, it's my 2 days off. I have Monday, Tuesday off now. My boss was earlier trying to text me to come into work. She was like, "Come into work." I was like, "I'm good." I said I was busy. Sorry.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday the worst to have these.
Honestly, I didn't think I would like it. I actually really enjoy it now. I actually look forward to it. Man, having Monday off, I've worked Mondays my entire life. Until I had them off, I was like, you know what? Sunday, don't have to worry about going back to work. You can just go watch porn, beat off, and just
oh my god,
have the next day off.
Yeah, I hate when back when I was working, because I'm self-employed. But back when I was working, when I used to work as a security guard. I used to hate when sometimes they wouldn't do it all the time, but sometimes when they split your days off, like you get like they have it at the beginning. I hate that shit because then you can't really enjoy the day off. Because I spend most of the day trying to get as much sleep as possible, just to get back up to go to work again.
Tuesday, Thursdays, and then when I got used to it, they put them back together again. It's like right when you get used to it, you're going, fuck, God damn. So yeah, man, it was always great having you on the show. Can't wait to see when the next chapter of Variant Killers, Vampire Killers come out. Make sure you guys go and check out VenusOrionComics.com. And thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK